A new book is asking us to reconsider our obsession with always being on time. Getting more done and moving faster, our next guest spent more than 15 years working in high-pressure federal environments, but now is helping others rethink their relationship with the constant pressure to hurry. So joining me now is Alex Snider, the author of Sometimes You Should Be Late. Welcome to Great Day, Washington. That's a great title of a book. Sometimes You Should Be Late. It really makes you stop to think. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you, tell us more about this title, how you chose it, and really what that means.
Yeah, thanks, Elaine. It's so great to be here. And it's deeply personal because for most of my life, working in high-pressure government worlds, being a high performer in challenging school settings, I didn't think I could be late or unproductive or inefficient. I didn't think that was possible.
Right.
And so for me, this title is about permission. Permission to realize that sometimes speed is what's called for, being on time can be a great act of care if a boss needs something from you to show up at the airport to pick up a family member. But it's not the only way to show care.
Right.
And so this title is all about finding alignment. Not speed all the time, but also not slowness all the time.
Yeah. You say there's assumptions out there that you're hoping to just disrupt with this title. If you could just put words to those assumptions, what would those be?
Yeah, well, it's funny, I actually got those words. This book is based off an article I wrote in Psychology Today with the same title. And to that article, people said, no. Being late is always disrespectful. Why are you justifying flakiness?
Right.
And so I got some of these words and I said, sometimes being late can be an act of disrespect. If you're fiddling on your phone, if you actually are not being there on time for those kind of trivial reasons.
Yeah.
But what if there's a car accident, there's bad traffic? What if a kid needs you? What if someone calls you and says, hey, I really need to talk?
Right.
Those might be good reasons to be late.
Yeah, great point. Absolutely, great point. You also describe slowing down as a quiet rebellion. Tell us more about that.
Well, it's a rebellion I feel every single day. When there's AI, there's so many ways to do more and more. And the act of taking 5 minutes to do nothing, to take a breath, it feels crazy because there's so much to do, there's so much to watch. And so in this larger world of bosses, of things, first day of school, you want to get your kid there, you want to get them all prepared.
Right.
And so taking the time to actually slow down and be present with other people, with ourselves, to notice when we're stressed, that is a bit of a rebellion. And it's one that I think we need to do together.
Yeah.
Because if everyone around us is rushing and validating that and saying, oh, thank you for getting back to me so quickly, as if that is the most important thing, then we get the wrong message reinforced, that being fast is the only thing, showing up on time is the only thing that matters,
Right.
as opposed to the quality of your presence.
Yeah.
Are you actually listening? Those kind of questions.
I love everything you're saying. I feel like everyone needs to read this book, especially when we have things like, again, just the internet and social media and information like this. We have become very impatient. The idea of slowing down and really not needing to know 100 answers in a second. People need to read this book and maybe reevaluate. You say the problem is not speed, though, itself, but something you call unconscious urgency. Tell us the difference.
So something I'm very clear on in this book, and I'm talking to someone in the news TV world where it's very high pressure, a lot of stuff is happening back to back to back, is there's nothing wrong with speed. There's nothing wrong with having a full life where you put a lot of things on your calendar because you care about those things. That's not the problem. The problem is when that becomes unconscious. We're actually not considering what the trade-offs are. If you are putting your meetings back to back to back, how present and prepared are you going to be for those next meeting? If you're a TV producer and you're getting there like right before the meeting because you're stacked your day full, how available are you going to be for that? Are you going to be the best version of yourself?
Yeah.
And so when I talk about unconscious urgency, it's rushing while we lose perspective. What is the cost of that? I think about this all the time when I'm driving. How fast am I driving? Am I weaving in between cars to save what, 30 seconds?
Right.
That is unconscious.
Yeah.
When I'm like, okay, I can move around this car to get there a little bit faster, that's conscious.
Right. All right. Thank you for breaking us down for us. I need to read this book more carefully. I hope everyone else does. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. We really appreciate it. You can order a copy of Sometimes You Should Be Late at slowmindfulness.com.